This episode of the vlog is sponsored by NordVPN. Get 75% off a 3-year plan at nordvpn.com/DiResta. This special offer makes your subscription just $2.99 per month.
So you can browse and buy securely on all of your devices.
And for a limited time, use the code DiResta to get an extra month of Nord for free. The more we live our lives online, the more at risk we are to getting hacked. The VPN will protect you from that. It puts you in a tunnel, so to speak. Nobody could see what you're doing and nobody could access what you're doing because you're in this virtual private network. If you go to a hotel or you go to the coffee shop and you go on their Wi-Fi, you're open to possibly getting hacked by everybody else. But with the VPN, you're protected. You have a cage around the things you look at, and people can't look into that cage and access your personal information. Another advantage to having a VPN is that you can access blocked servers in other countries, all the government blocked information in that country. It gives you more freedom and personal protection when you surf the web. VPN has thousands of servers in over 61 countries. VPN does not log your data. 24/7 customer support, including live chats and emails. It works in China and the Middle Eastern countries like the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. It offers military-grade encryption. It's compatible with most operating systems, including Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. Double data encryption to increase anonymity. Unlimited bandwidth. Nord offers a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee.
Nord is the only VPN to get a perfect score from PC Magazine.
You can use up to 6 simultaneous connections. I have it on my computer and my cell phone.
In summation, go to nordvpn.com/DiResta to get 75% off a 3-year plan and use the code DiResta to get 1 month free.
Protect yourself online today. Hello and welcome back. I am here in Taylor's new studio. I don't know what the audio is going to sound like, and it's a little bit dark in here, but this is Taylor's new design studio, and it's actually quite beautiful. Congratulations, Taylor. I'm very proud of you. Right after I shot that previous ad, I got a cold, so that's why my voice is kind of gone. First up is this next Lowe's project. These are 2 cabinets I built for the side of our Aga stove at the house. And I built them in a manner I would say an amateur can do. I wanted it to look like an old-timey cabinet, but I made it in a way anybody could do. Sturdy cabinet with a nice finished result. And I didn't use any complicated hardware. I try to make it like a homeownery approach kind of concept. And I'm really happy with the result. It's cabinets that we've needed for a really long time here in the kitchen, and we're really happy with it. So as soon as I get approval from Lowe's, that's going to be published this week. New from the print shop is this: if you can making it here, you can making it anywhere. And I have a podcast with Bob Claggett and Dave Picciuto, and in that podcast we are discussing where we're going to hold Making It 200, the celebration of our 200th episode. And we were joking around, and I came up with the idea: if you keep making it here in New York, you can making it anywhere, because the event will be held somewhere in New York sometime this summer. So that is why this poster is got kind of an inside joke, but it applies in general. It applies: if you can making it here, you can making it anywhere. Derek came over and hung out with me during the winter break, and just wanted to experiment a little bit. I started playing around with the idea of making these big CNC posters. I saw a movie called The Letterpress Movie, which talks about letterpress and old-time printing, and in there they were making hand posters, really big. And I started experimenting with just CNCing these big print boards, and we made about 25 posters, and I'm not sure how I'm going to sell them, but they will be available at one point. Right now I only have 25 of them. I just want to improve my skills, improve the process, get it a much better result. So this is me just experimenting and jumping in, and as I always say, get a reference point, and from that reference point you can figure out where to go. So new posters, new printing, all for 2019. One of my winter projects is my 1969 Chevy C10, and I'm making the bed over. I'm going to reupholster the seat. I redid the brakes. I'm going to work on the engine next. Simple but involved cosmetic stuff, and some simple but involved mechanical stuff. Not swapping a motor out or anything complicated. I got it a couple years ago with 43,000 original miles on it, so it's in very good shape actually. It's just been outside, so I'm trying to alleviate the wear and tear of the weather, and just trying to get it back to I could present it and be proud to present it. A new video I made this week is for Dollar Shave Club. It's a shave kit you would put in your bathroom. I wanted to experiment with this aluminum that I got from my friends over at Alumatank. Those guys sent me over some scraps of aluminum, and I wanted to experiment with just my TIG welding. You know, TIG welding aluminum is obviously complicated, and it's very, very complicated and very simple at the same time. So I keep coming up with projects to experiment with that technique, and I actually have a really good project coming up in the next few weeks, all aluminum TIG welding, so look forward to that. But this video will be out maybe this week. I just wanted to remind you guys about the Maker Mob. This is a website designed by Jesse and some friends. Jesse, the Samurai Carpenter, and it's going to have some exclusive content, step-by-step making tutorials by him, by me. When you join, not only will you get the tutorials by me, you'll get the tutorials by Jesse, the Samurai Carpenter, April, John Peters, Mike Montgomery, and there's a whole list of other makers. They're going to roll them out as the months progress into 2019. Get on the wait list, join the link below, and you can check out the Makers Mob. And it's going to be fun for me because I'm going to have to keep developing some exclusive content. My initial content will be the extended canoe videos where I discuss how I built the canoe as a first-time canoe builder, the challenges that I felt in case anybody's on the fence about building a canoe. Hopefully I can get you over the hump with my tutorials, and I can discuss the problems that I anticipated and how I overcame some of my challenges. A lot of it was really mental, but I will discuss that when you see these videos. This year at New York Maker Fair, I bumped into my friend Chuck Hellebuyck. But Chuck has an Instagram channel called Filament Friday, and Chuck is a 3D printing expert. For years, I've been having this love-hate relationship with 3D printing, wanting to know whether I needed it in my life or not. Over the years, some people have sent me machines, and I've used them for a few minutes and then gotten rid of them. Suddenly, I feel the need. And when I was talking with Chuck, he said, I'll set you up with some stuff. He set me up with the software and some hardware, and cross-pollinating it with Fusion 360, just simple designs so I can jump from Illustrator to Fusion to 3D printing. I decided to use 3D printing in a way that most people have already discovered, but now it seems to fit into my life. Prototyping, just small prototypes of things that I'm thinking of, things that I want to make, nothing complicated. The 3D print isn't necessarily the final result in almost every case. It's really more of like an actualization of my mental vision. Besides that, I know I could just whip something up in Fusion and just almost print it directly. Aside from the time it takes to 3D print something, there's almost no bugs or no complications. Any of those complications I've had have really just been self-imposed. And all that is lifted in 2019, so I'm real excited. I'm real excited to get into this. So Chuck, thank you very much. And Chuck's links and the links to all this stuff will be down below. I'd like to thank my friend George. George knew that I would want this bandsaw. So before he listed it, he called me directly and we made a deal. And George, thank you. This is an amazing machine. This is a 1928 American. Eric from Hand Tool Rescue sourced the origin of this saw. There is no nameplate on it, not that I have found yet. But this saw is getting set up in the new barn. There's nothing really wrong with it. I just need to dust it off and plug it in, get a new blade for it. And by all accounts, I think I am the third owner of this bandsaw since 1928. Thank you, George, for that. And this is just a killer piece. I'm so proud to own this. Many of you might know Chris Zepieri, but I want to introduce you. Chris Zep is a friend and a YouTuber and a maker extraordinaire. He's got a great passion for life and for making, and he's a young kid. I see Chris, and I think I wish I was doing what he was doing at 30. I was on a whole different career trajectory before I got to where I am now. It was all involving making, but it wasn't quite as clear as it is to me now. And to see what Chris is doing at 30, it's going to be great to see where he is when he's my age. Check out Chris Zepieri. He's doing really well on YouTube, and he watches Instagram stories. His Instagram story hasn't ended since it started.
Merry Christmas! Oh, this guy.
You're in the vlog.
It's Santa. What's up, bro?
Hey, buddy.
How's it going, man? How are you?
Dad, come here. Did you have this much? when you were 30?
Are you kidding me? I didn't even work in a building this big.
I have a tool buying sickness. It's
And-
very serious.
What was the first big piece of machinery you bought?
First big piece of machinery
Like
I
the
bought?
first thing you needed help moving?
Oh, probably the Bridgeport.
Oh, the Bridgeport.
Yeah, that was like the first thing that we really had to like pull in the big guns.
But you said you bought that before you had the space.
Yeah.
Where did you keep it stored?
So I bought it with a deal with a friend of mine, and I said, if I buy this, can we keep it in your shop
Okay.
until I get a shop? Then he moved before I moved in here.
So it was
I had
outside?
to take it apart and put it in a friend's garage for 6 months. Then I had to take it apart again and move it here. So I've moved it 3 times,
Oh, my
and
God.
not a single time did we have a forklift. We did it with an engine crane every time.
Oh my God, you're out of your
What
mind.
was that thing that cost you $1,000, $2,000 to move? That big lady?
Same one, the same exact thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Same exact machine.
But now I'm like an expert in moving a Bridgeport. Hardest part is getting the knee off because
Yeah.
the dovetail is so tight at the top because
Yeah.
no one ever uses the table that high. So what we learned was that you got to always bring a bottle jack and you have to actually jack the knee off the dovetail. And then once it's off, you can move it because the Bridgeport in 3 pieces is under 1,000 pounds a piece. So it's not that bad.
I have 5 of these.
Some right over drill bits.
Chris has got a drawer full of those.
Oh, there you go.
That's my idol. Did you see the new set they have now? When on Black Friday we were at Home Depot
Yeah,
and
for $5.
the big box,
Uh-huh.
2 of them for $20.
I missed that one.
Yeah, and it's everything in the world.
Yeah, what's up with the YouTube channel? What are you thinking?
I just want to keep doing it, keep making stuff. I want to make stuff for the channel. I want to make stuff for, for clients and other YouTubers. I just want to keep going as hard as I can. A year ago this week, I had 8,000.
Wow.
So I did about 30,000 in this year, which was great. And the support's been unbelievable.
It's just on the side. I mean,
Yeah, and it's I work the full-time job, so it's like total
Yeah, that's
part-time
incredible.
thing, and it's been great. A lot of support. The next big heavy thing I want to build, I'm going to build a 32 or 36 inch disc grinder.
Oh.
Thanks to you
Oh, yeah.
because of the big aluminum plate. So that's the next big thing I want to build, and then that and the hydraulic. I'm building a hydraulic press, a 20-ton hydraulic press, but I'm doing it as cheap as I can. I'm doing it with a log splitter, a motor that I bought on eBay, and some I-beam that I basically bought for scrap prices. So it's going to be kind of like the down and dirty way to get yourself started with a hydraulic press without spending like, $2,000. Yeah, I did. I made this a year ago. I've been carrying it for a year. This is its like test, if it can hold up.
Very nice.
Yeah, it works. It's got little ball bearings in it and titanium.
Oh, I thought it was a
and-
push button.
No.
What do you call it, gravity knife?
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, you're not allowed to stand on the edge up there. Is that what that is up there, a bee's nest? That round thing? Or is that an electrical box? That's a bee's nest.
A building update. We just passed our electrical inspection. Now it's up to Central Hudson to connect us to 3-phase to the street. And when I say us, I'm talking about me and my buddy Patrick. Patrick has been pivotal in designing the electrical system in this building and getting it done. Patrick, thank you. It's been a bit complicated because we chose 3-phase and everything was amped up, no pun intended. The size of the wire, the amount of wire, the boxes, the circuitry, everything is like on a commercial level. Big and expensive and complicated, but we're over that hump now, and so we're gonna keep cruising. Insulation is almost done. It's so cold, just like last winter. The minute it got to like 19, 15, 13 degrees, I just checked out of the project. Next winter, the heat will be on, so there'll be a lot more going on there next winter. But as soon as the spring comes, we're going to be jamming in there. Now, you guys know I have a podcast with Bob and Dave, Bob Claggett and Dave Picciuto. That's called Making It. That podcast, we're approaching episode 200. But I started a new podcast with Andrew Alexander from Blacksmith Tools and Eric from Hand Tool Rescue, where we discuss antique tools. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll find it enjoyable. We're getting a lot of good reviews. We'll have episode 3 out in about a week. We're all still figuring it out. I do a podcast with Bob and Dave, but that's all been figured out, and I'm just a participant. In this case, I'm kind of I'm the lead administrator, so it's a little bit difficult for me to learn all these new steps. I'm editing it for now just so I learn how to edit so I can discuss and talk with the eventual editor that's going to handle the rest of it. If there's any glitches, it's all my fault. If it's too low, it's my fault. If there's any hiccups in the audio, that's my fault. But I'm learning, and I figured the best way to learn is to just get in there and do it. Besides that, we have a tremendous amount of fun and laughs. Andrew is amazing. He's got the craziest stories. Eric is just, he is a natural humorist and an extremely intelligent, funny guy, and we just have a ball. So check out the Fits All podcast. 5 stars. Want to make just a few announcements. Don't forget, Maker Central is this May 12th and 11th. I will be there. Colin Furs will be there. A lot of other people will be there. Come to Maker Central if you haven't already. Last year we had an amazing time, and based on the list of people that are going to be there this year, it is going to be insane. If you're on the fence about going to Maker Central, just know that last year we had a killer, fun, incredible, inspiring time. The lobby just went on till wee hours of the morning every single night, and check out the website. You can get in better detail everybody that's going to be there. It is going to be the who's who of this maker scene. I want to remind you guys I'm going to go to the Spring Maker event in Cleveland, Ohio. Although the main sponsor is Lincoln, it is not just a welding event. Some other tool companies will be Rigid, Bird, Abrasives, Jet, and many, many more. There's going to be keynote speeches by me and many others. There's going to be a lot of classes. You'll learn metalworking, woodworking, tech skills, business skills, and spend the whole weekend hanging out with a bunch of creatives, living, learning, and teaching what they do. I'll be there. Brett's going to be there. Evan and Caitlin, ZH Fab, Johnny Brook, April, Laura, Jen Woodhouse. Check the link below. If you use the discount code DiResta, you'll get $100 off the registration fee. This is going to be a fun one. Thank you, Austin. This is great. Well done. Will, thank you very much. Check out STC Doodles on Instagram. Thank you, brother. These are awesome. Thank you for my little Spiky. Thank you, Zach. Throw away that painter's tape. Do us all a favor. Mike, thanks for making me feel insignificant with my welding skills. This is amazing. Something to aspire to. This Mike's card. Seattle Welding Services. Very, very cool. Did you do this by hand? You're out of your mind. Allie and Mickey, thank you guys very, very much. Lazy A-Hole Ranch? Incredible story. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Kurt, thank you, my friend. I really appreciate this. Thank you. Just in time for my diet, my friend. Thank you, brother. Thank you, everybody, for listening along. Sorry about my scratchy voice. 2019 is going to be a big one. I'm really excited to get into some new technology, some new learning, and getting out there and meeting a lot of new people. And I will be at Workbench Con. I'm just going to be there as a civilian. I'm not doing any speeches or any conversations. I'm just going to be there as an audience member. So if you do go to Workbench Con, I will be there. Thank you.